Hi, I'm Tinny from Bowl Design, and today I'm going to talk about my two new cooking systems, the QMH and the QMH Gnome Cooking Combo. Now, there's a lot of questions here to be answered, so I'll try to answer them all. First off, both these kits come with just the 16-ounce Ziploc container. This gets rid of the 8-ounce top container, cuts down on the height and the weight of the cooking system in an effort to make it more compact and more lightweight. Now, they come with just a standard lid with a tab on it. You can tie a string through the tab or you can remove the tab. That's up to you, whatever you want to do. I just simply pick it off. It's pretty easy. Or one of them, I pop the tab right out, stick my finger through and pop it out. It's not for everybody, but it works for me. I got fairly tough hands. Now, this QMH system comes with a blackfly 4, which all you'll wonder, what the heck's a blackfly 4? Oh, well, okay, here we go. Blackfly 4 is just a shrunk down blackfly 3 in an effort to make it more compact and more lightweight. Here's a blackfly 3. And here's the blackfly 4. You can see it's about half as big, holds half as much fuel, half as much water in the water jacket, but the same amount of heat just for a shorter period of time. This one has so much burn time that it's laughable, so I thought, hey, let's cut it in half. That makes it fit inside of this 8-ounce pot, which is, and again, we had a 16-ounce pot, and I said, hey, let's cut it in half. Let's go to 8. So anyway, here's the blackfly 4. It's the same deal. You know, the legs come out. It's got a magnet in the bottom that holds it in place. It's got a water jacket. And it comes all apart so you can dump the fuel back. Same thing as a blackfly 3, just smaller and lighter weight. Okay, now, this comes with a cut-down windscreen that fits right inside of the pot. And this pot is a 2-piece pot. It doesn't have the double wall here like the super pot does because it's so short it doesn't need it. It's pretty darn rugged just by itself because the wall is so short with the wick wound down on it. Comes with a lip guard and the bottom is painted black. Now you say, 8 ounces? What the heck are you thinking of? Well, I didn't call it the QHM for nothing, which by the way stands for questionable mental health. You basically have to be nuts to carry something like this. But in my defense, and you know, I need all the help I can get on this. A lot of the meals I cook, 8 ounces of boiling hot water is enough to rehydrate them. Like if I take one of those packages of Idaho potatoes, just add water potatoes, that whole package takes 2 cups of water. Well, I'm not going to eat the whole package. Holy cow, that's a lot of potatoes. I eat a half a package, which takes 1 cup of boiling water. Now, if when I rehydrate my hamburger, I put an ounce or so of dehydrated hamburger, which is equal to like 3 ounces of hydrated hamburger, right in the water, and let it rehydrate right in the water, and I put my gravy mix in there before I dump it on the potatoes, the whole thing comes together pretty good with just 1 cup. So that's one meal. Another meal would be a half a brick of ramen noodles and some hamburger and maybe some dehydrated vegetables. So there's a lot of meals that you can make with 1 cup of water. And if you're making one meal, if you want to make this really realistic, pack your meals smaller because you can eat one, and while you're eating one, you can boil another cup of water. Hey, sky's the limit. You can boil as many cups of water as you want to. It only takes 8 minutes to boil a cup of water because it's only 1 cup instead of 2. And this stove is very efficient, works really well. You know, it takes about 8 milliliters to boil a cup of water. So for every meal, it takes 8 milliliters of fuel. So, you know, figure there's, 30 milliliters in an ounce. So you pretty well figure on that. You do the math. Now, this all fits right back in here, and all goes together. The legs fit in here. Lay down sideways. Cover goes right on. Goes back in the pot. Lid goes on. Now, that's an entire cooking system. I mean, come on. Doesn't get any better than that. And this pot weighs 0.96 ounces. That's under 1 ounce. That's a pot under an ounce. I don't think anybody makes a pot under an ounce, any size. So this whole cooking system weighs significantly less than a Snow Peak 700 cup, titanium cup, alone. This system, the QMH Gnome cooking kit, has a nifty little stove in it. It's the same pot. This lid, I just stick my finger through it to pick it out, but you could put a string on it if you wanted to. The screen on this, the pot stand, see if you can see it here, I've cut out every other loop to lighten it up, because we're going nuts on this. We're going absolutely, positively, as light as I possibly could. The sky's the limit. Anything I can take, I take. So I took out every other loop on this, and that's the way these will come when you buy the stove. And this is the stove. It's a Gnome stove. It's simply a canister with a rolled edge with a piece of 3/8 wick wound all the way down inside of it. Now, this wick is a secret to the whole thing, because obviously this is not a complicated stove. This is basically the same thing Jason Class does when he uses just a tea light canister full of alcohol. The difference is I've made it a little taller and narrower so I can limit the surface area. And this wick soaks up all the alcohol, so there's no alcohol free in there. It's all in the wick when you get it full. And that kind of controls the burn and keeps it up where it's supposed to, and keeps a good looking blue flame on it. But even more important is if you tip it over, and I've tipped a lot of these over. That's my biggest problem with these small stoves, the Magic Mouse and that type of stove, is you can tip them over really easy. If you tip this over, all the fuel is absorbed into the wick, so if you tip it over, it's no big deal. There's no alcohol goes anyway. You just take it and stand it back up again. And that's worth a lot to me, because I've had some major fires going when I tipped over a Magic Mouse. That's something you really want to pay attention to. So anyway, this is the Gnome, and this weighs basically nothing. And that pot stand it's a 4-loop pot stand. Yes, 4 loops. And fits right in here. Gnome fits inside of it. Cover goes right on. I've got the windscreen on the outside on this one. Drop your pot in, put the lid on. Entire cooking system. 3.8 ounces. That's under 4 ounces, an entire cooking system. And it's actually feasible. You can actually cook with it. This isn't like trying to heat water over a fire in a conch shell, or trying to make a pot out of a piece of aluminum foil. This is an actual, feasible, workable cooking system. It actually will work, no problem. This is small enough so you could throw this in a survival kit. And you'd have a pot that you can actually boil water in, which is invaluable if you're out in a survival situation. A good stove, windscreen, and this container you can eat out of. You can even put your food in it, put the lid on to hold the heat in it and rehydrate it. One of the guys has asked me to start selling pot cozies for this, and I'll probably do that pretty soon for around $8. And that's basically all there is to it. I'm Tinny from Mini Bull Design. Get out and hike, keep your pack light, and more important than anything, have a great day. Bye-bye.